The secret of Aries, the fiery trailblazer of the Zodiac, lies not in a potion nor in an elixir of youth, but in the ancient pulse of the cosmos that flows through their very being. Governed by Mars, the red planet of action, courage, and raw primal energy, Aries is the firstborn of the Zodiac, a celestial pioneer charged with the eternal spark of beginnings. It is this fire, this unquenchable flame, that keeps Aries youthful, magnetic, and perpetually alive with possibility. They are not bound by the limitations of age, time, or doubt. They are born to lead, and that leadership begins with the mastery of their own energy. The vitality of Aries does not fade with time because it is rooted in something eternal. Aries thrives on momentum, on movement, on the chase. While others may look for rest, Aries seeks battle, not in the destructive sense, but as a cosmic dance with destiny. They are warriors of light, their spirits forged in celestial heat, always looking forward, never looking back. Their youth is not only of the body, but of the soul. Every sunrise is an invitation to conquest, every challenge a call to arms. Aries remains young because they are constantly reborn through action, decision, and risk. Mars, the ancient god of war, breathes fire into their veins. This Martian influence does more than provide stamina. It instills in Aries an unrelenting will to evolve, to dominate fear, and to expand beyond every limit. Where others pause to question, Aries leaps. That leap is their secret. It's in that sacred moment of defiance, when hesitation is swallowed by courage, that Aries taps into the fountain of youth. They do not carry the weight of yesterday or the fear of tomorrow. Their essence is now, and in the now they remain ageless. Astrologically, Aries is a cardinal sign. It initiates, it activates, it starts the cycle anew. This gift is not only external, bringing forth ideas, projects, and revolutions, but internal as well. Aries can regenerate themselves, rise from their own ashes, and rediscover their purpose with the fury of 1,000 suns. Their magnetism comes not from mere charm but from presence. To stand near an awakened Aries is to feel the heat of possibility. They are living sparks, reminding the world that life is not a series of obligations, but a series of victories waiting to be claimed. What draws others to Aries is not only their confidence but their unapologetic authenticity. They don't try to be magnetic, they simply are. Their energy is unfiltered, raw, real. People are pulled to this truth because it liberates them. Aries awakens the sleeping giant in others. They are reminders that bravery is beautiful and that passion is power. In their presence, people remember what it means to want, to burn, to try again. Aries leads the way, not just with boldness, but with an open heart that refuses to be dulled by routine or rejection. From an epic lens, Aries is the archetypal hero at the beginning of every myth. They are the child who leaves the village to slay the dragon, the soul who dares to carve a path through darkness with only instinct and firelight as their guides. Their legend is not built on comfort, but conquest. Their youth is preserved not by denying hardship, but by confronting it head-on, absorbing its lessons, and moving forward stronger, sharper, more alive. To be Aries is to walk the warrior's path, not one of destruction, but of sacred becoming. Even the trials of Aries, the moments of impulsiveness, of bruised pride, of battles lost, are not setbacks. They are fuel. They are forged in every scar. Their resilience is alchemical. Where others stagnate, Aries transforms. Where others age in spirit, Aries deepens their flame. They do not grow old. They grow legendary. The universe responds to their motion. When Aries steps forward, the cosmos shifts. In this endless dance of stars and fire, Aries remains the eternal spark. Youth clings to them not as a reward, but as a reflection of their essence. They are the sunrise in human form, the call to courage, the ignition of the great journey. Their secret is no secret at all. It is written in the stars, carved into the bones of warriors and dreamers alike. Aries stays young because they dare. Aries stays magnetic because they burn. And in that burn, they become timeless. Aries possesses an instinctual relationship with the divine force of creation itself. As the first sign of the Zodiac, Aries carries the undiluted momentum of Genesis. The moment the void is pierced by light, the sacred explosion that heralds existence. This singular cosmic force imbues Aries with more than vitality. It grants them a cosmic role as initiators of universal will. Their connection to the original spark makes them emissaries of unshaped potential, constantly reborn through action. Each decision a strike of lightning in the grand architecture of fate. They are not imitators of life, they are architects of it. The constellation of Aries, long revered in the heavens, has symbolized for millennia not only boldness, but sacred leadership. This is not leadership born of hierarchy or control, but of spiritual command, of being the one who steps forward when others hesitate, the soul who hears the silent song of destiny and moves before the mind can form words. Aries acts with a clarity of purpose that transcends rationality. This is the language of the gods made manifest in human courage. That clarity is a mirror of their youth, for doubt and overthinking are the burdens of the weary, while Aries remains ever light, ever moving. There is a sacred purity in the Aries fire, often misunderstood by those who see only its surface. Beneath the outward fierceness lies a heart of incandescent loyalty and radiant innocence. Aries does not calculate, they feel. They are the warriors who do not wear armor to protect themselves from pain, but charge forward regardless of it. This vulnerability is their truest source of strength. They do not fear being wounded because their faith in renewal is absolute. Every fall is a prelude to their rise. Every scar is a badge of their evolution. They burn, yes, but they never burn out. In the alchemical journey of the soul, Aries represents the raw material, the prima materia, that must be fired in the crucible of experience. But unlike others who wait for perfect conditions, Aries steps into the forge willingly, knowing that transformation does not wait. They are the sacred fool in the hero's journey, leaping into the unknown not because they are reckless, but because they trust in the strength of their own flame. This trust, born of divine instinct, is why they glow from within. Their light is not borrowed. It is self-generated. Aries is also touched by the wisdom of the body. Their youthfulness is not simply mental or emotional, it is somatic. Their physical energy, their need to move, to act, to feel through doing, is a language spoken between body and cosmos. The body of Aries is a temple of action, and through movement they access a kind of sacred knowing. They cannot be still for long, because stillness stifles the current that renews them. They are kinetic prayers in motion, sacred fires dancing in the flesh. Each step they take is a beat in the great heart of the universe. Their magnetism is woven from this same divine thread. It is not a cultivated charisma but an echo of something ancient and true. People are drawn to Aries not because they shine for others, but because they shine for themselves. This unfiltered brilliance awakens others. It dares them to remember their own fire. Aries ignites liberation in the hearts of those who cross their path. They do not dim for acceptance. They blaze, and in doing so, they give permission for others to do the same. Even the solitude of Aries holds power. Though known for their forward momentum, they are not defined solely by external conquest. There are moments in their journey when the flame turns inward, illuminating their inner sanctum. In these sacred interludes, Aries confronts themselves without flinching. Their solitude is not emptiness, it is preparation, a gathering of strength, a sharpening of the blade. These inner moments are what make their outer victories more than ego-driven pursuits. They are expressions of soul mastery. Astrologically, Aries is associated with the first house of self, of identity, of the I am. This is the birthplace of individuality, the divine declaration of being. Aries does not seek permission to exist. They are the living affirmation that existence itself is enough. This sacred assertion keeps them young, for it frees them from the decay of self-doubt and the erosion of conformity. To live as Aries is to live as a sovereign flame, uncontained and unapologetic, always dancing at the edge of the infinite. As time passes, Aries does not age in the traditional sense. The years do not wear them down, they refine them. The fire is honed. The warrior becomes a master of their own myth. What was once raw instinct becomes sacred strategy. Their eyes hold more wisdom, their heart more depth, but their spark remains untamed. They become legends in motion, never static, never frozen in time. Even in elder years, Aries radiates the same primal energy that moved stars into being. In every age, in every era, the world has needed Aries. They are the bringers of dawn, the breakers of stagnation, the fearless challengers of complacency. They remind humanity that life is not a prison but a battlefield of purpose, a quest for the soul's true shape. And in this quest, they remain eternal, not because they defy time, but because they embody what time cannot touch, the eternal fire of becoming. Aries is not only a sign of beginnings, but the embodiment of divine rebellion against inertia. Where there is staleness, Aries brings revolution. Where there is silence, Aries roars. This relentless momentum is more than personality. It is a cosmic responsibility embedded in their starborn blueprint. The Aries soul is not meant to coast. It is designed to pierce through the fabric of the known world, to challenge every stagnant structure, to crack the shell of mediocrity with a thunderclap of intention. This divine unrest keeps them perpetually renewed, like a storm that never loses its charge. Their essence is generative chaos, disruption as a sacred act. That sacred disruption is a youth tonic for the soul. Aries holds within them the mythology of the ram, not merely as symbol but as archetype. The ram scales cliffs where others dare not tread, defying gravity with sheer will. This vertical drive reflects Aries' need to ascend, not for recognition, but because something within them remembers the summit. They are coded to climb, to conquer inner and outer mountains alike. Their path is not linear, for the ram does not follow roads, it forges trails. The thrill of the unexplored is their nourishment. That sense of purpose beyond fear, of desire beyond restraint, preserves the innocence of their spirit and the sharpness of their edge. The moment the world becomes too predictable, Aries rises to fracture the pattern and initiate a new cycle. They are ruled not only by Mars the warrior, but by the sacred flame of initiation, which lives in every culture's stories of heroes. Aries represents the spark in Prometheus' torch, the breath of life in the forge of Hephaestus, the fire that burned behind Joan of Arc's unshakable gaze. In them lives the divine defier, the one who says yes when others tremble, who stands when all fall. Their youthfulness is not mere vitality, but the raw memory of their divine origin, unburdened by shame or hesitation. It is the remembrance of why they were sent, to act, to ignite, to awaken. And in fulfilling this purpose, their soul remains vibrant and untouched by decay. There is also a spiritual innocence within Aries that few see beneath the flame. It is not naivety, but a holy refusal to be jaded. No matter how many battles are fought, no matter how many betrayals are weathered, Aries does not let the world harden their core. They remain astonished by beauty, inspired by possibility, and trusting in their capacity to start again. This spiritual elasticity is what allows them to bend without breaking, to suffer without closing. They possess the rare ability to mourn and then rise, fiercer, freer, and more full of light. Every heartbreak is transmuted into fuel. Every defeat becomes a drumbeat for their return. Aries does not retreat into the past, for nostalgia is a weight they are not meant to carry. Their gaze is fixed on the horizon, on the next great campaign of the soul. This futurism makes them seem untouchable, but in truth, it is an act of courage. It takes strength to let go, to release the comfort of what once was in favor of what could be. Aries lives in the realm of potential. They are builders of tomorrows, champions of the unborn vision. Their hands are stained with stardust and soot, for they have both dreamed and battled to birth the new. Their vitality flows from this sacred task. They are kept young not by resisting time, but by forever co-creating with it. Within the Zodiac wheel, Aries also acts as the eternal challenger to fear. In the great astrological mandala, they confront fear not through avoidance, but through confrontation. They stare it down, meet it on the battlefield, and declare war against all forces that shrink the soul. They are not fearless, but they are ruled by something greater than fear, desire. This primal longing to taste life in its fullness gives them a radiance that does not fade. Others dim their lights to avoid being burned. Aries walks into the flame and becomes the fire itself. Their charisma is elemental, born from this intimate relationship with risk and reward. Their inner compass is not easily explained, for Aries does not operate from logic alone. Their decisions are dictated by instinct, by an inner drumbeat older than language. When they say yes to something, it is total. It is as if every atom of their being rallies to the call. This totality is magnetic because it is rare. In a world of hesitation and half-heartedness, Aries arrives as a singular force of commitment. This full-hearted presence lights up rooms, galvanizes movements, and alters destinies. Their very existence is a spell of movement. Stillness dies in their presence, and in its place is born the wildfire of transformation. Even the wounds Aries carries become symbols of their sacred path. Their impulsiveness may lead to mistakes, their intensity to conflict, but through every blaze they learn the rhythm of their flame. With time, their fire becomes wisdom, and they evolve from impulsive warrior to sacred guardian of light. The seasoned Aries becomes not only a leader of action but a steward of renewal. Their wisdom does not quiet their flame. It hones it into precision, turning raw fire into divine purpose. The spiritual legacy of Aries is eternal movement in service of truth. They are the living incarnation of the universe's refusal to remain dormant. They are the shout at dawn, the clash of sword on shield, the cry of the soul demanding more. Their youthfulness is a side effect of their alignment with this force. For where there is alignment with purpose, there is no aging, only expansion. Aries does not fade. They ascend. They charge forward, unafraid, into the ever-unfolding myth of their life, lighting the way for others to follow, not with words, but with fire. There is an overlooked dimension of Aries that lies in their unshakable trust in life itself. Unlike other signs that require confirmation or clarity before committing to a path, Aries moves with a primal faith that the universe will meet them halfway once they initiate. This deep-rooted certainty acts as a magnet for synchronicity and renewal. They summon new beginnings not only because they are brave, but because they are believers in motion, in momentum as divinity in action. Their faith is not philosophical, it is experiential. They learn through fire, and they grow by standing inside it. This relationship to divine trust is part of what sustains their eternal youth. There is no stagnation in their spirit because there is no hesitation in their leap. Aries is also a guardian of the sacred now. While other signs may dwell in memory or project into the distant future, Aries is anchored in immediacy. Their presence is fierce because it is whole. They do not dilute themselves in speculation. They bring their full energy to each encounter, each task, each desire. This immediacy electrifies them and everyone around them. It's a quality that the world craves. The ability to be truly alive in a moment, unfractured by doubt or distraction. Aries embodies this aliveness, and in doing so, they become a beacon for those lost in overthinking and hesitation. In the presence of Aries, the past and future dissolve. All that exists is the beating pulse of opportunity, the surge of becoming, the exhilarating tension of the present about to give birth to something never seen before. What grants Aries such magnetism is not simply their strength or boldness, but their emotional clarity. They feel what they feel without apology, and they express it with a disarming purity that can silence rooms. Their emotional reactions may be swift, even intense, but they are never hidden. This transparency of emotion makes them deeply trustworthy in the eyes of those who can handle the heat of realness. Aries refuses to cloak their truth behind politeness or politics. Their soul is direct, and this directness pierces through the masks that others wear. It's not only attractive, it's liberating. They become catalysts for authenticity, awakening courage in those too long trapped in the cages of caution. Their connection to Mars also grants them a sacred relationship with anger. While many fear or repress anger, Aries uses it as a compass and a purifier. Anger for Aries is not destructive by nature. It is the voice of sacred boundaries and the roar of passion unexpressed. When harnessed with maturity, Aries' anger becomes a transformative fire, burning away falsehoods and restoring justice. They are not passive witnesses to injustice. They are warriors of alignment, willing to fight for truth, for love, for light. In a world dulled by apathy, Their sacred rage becomes a tool of resurrection. That inner fire refuses to let them fade. It keeps their blood hot with purpose and their spirit lit with clarity. The elemental force of Aries is fire, but not just any fire. It is the initiating flame, the first flicker that pierces the void and demands to exist. Aries holds the sacred responsibility of lighting torches in darkness. They are not merely energetic, they are ignition itself. This power to begin, to break inertia, to awaken dormant souls, is a divine gift. When they walk into a room, the frequency changes, not through intention, but because of what they represent. Motion, courage, primal creation. They are not content to be symbols. They become the embodiment of action, the pulse of evolution given flesh and voice. In esoteric astrology, Aries governs the head, the seat of identity, vision, and will. This symbolism is profound, for Aries must often learn how to lead with vision rather than pure force. As they evolve, their youthful fire does not dim. It crystallizes into focus. They begin to use their will not only to shatter limitations but to shape entire paradigms. Their leadership becomes divine architecture. Their thoughts no longer race for conquest but for contribution. Their sense of self, once driven by instinct, becomes anchored in purpose. This evolution from spontaneous action to visionary command marks the ascension of Aries into their highest destiny. There is a sacred loneliness to Aries that is often misunderstood. As the first to leap, the first to try, the first to rise, Aries often travels alone at the beginning of their quests. This solitude is not emptiness but refinement. It is in these solo odysseys that Aries meets their immortal self, the part of them that remembers past lifetimes of trial and triumph. Their solitude teaches them how to listen to the voice beneath noise, the call of destiny that no one else can hear. From this inner communion, they emerge stronger, surer, and more radiant. Their magnetism deepens because they have faced themselves and did not flinch. As they grow older in years, Aries grows deeper in spirit. The outer world may attempt to age them with expectation, tradition, or fatigue, but Aries resists this gravity with the momentum of their soul. They become ageless not by denying age, but by redefining it. To Aries, age is a badge of endurance, a mark of battles survived and truths won. Their laughter gains new depth, their fire new hues, and their power new direction. The youthful glow they carry is no longer just the fire of the beginning. It becomes the fire of wisdom earned through living fully, fiercely, and without regret. Aries does not merely seek inspiration, they are inspiration incarnate. They walk into the unknown without needing a map, and in doing so, create a path for others to follow. Their journey is the blueprint for bravery. They remind humanity of the sacred duty to live awake, to move before certainty, to act before permission, to dare even when trembling. They are not the finished product, they are the first draft of glory, the raw roar of what could be, the blood and breath of becoming. In a universe ever expanding, Aries is the spark that keeps it alive. And in staying true to their fire, they remain unbreakable, unforgettable, and forever young. The essence of Aries cannot be fully understood without acknowledging their sacred relationship with instinct. While other signs may seek guidance through reflection, consultation, or prolonged contemplation, Aries channels knowledge through immediacy. This connection to raw instinct is not a flaw to be tamed but a divine channel to be honored. Aries is an expression of the cosmic will manifesting in real time. They carry the fire of first knowing, the cellular wisdom of movement before thought. This primal intelligence connects them to the animal spirit, the warrior's intuition, the creator's compulsion to shape reality with nothing more than desire and force of will. It is this internal compass, uncorrupted by hesitation, that allows Aries to leap, to claim, to strike, and to blaze forward where others wait for signs. This deep attunement to the pulse of life keeps their energy unpolluted by doubt, rendering their soul forever quickened, ever youthful in its hunger to respond. In the wider cosmic order, Aries is not merely the first among equals in the Zodiac. They are the cosmic flame-bearer, the trailblazer through celestial fog. They are not just individuals, they are the point of inception through which divine potential rushes into form. The universe expresses its need for beginnings through Aries. Their presence in the world ensures that cycles continue to evolve, that dreams are given ignition, that motion remains the law of life. When Aries embraces their divine task without apology, they become instruments of acceleration in the collective journey of souls. Their choices, though often spontaneous and fierce, are aligned with a sacred momentum. They are cosmic catalysts, reminding all beings that transformation demands the courage to begin. The signature of Aries also lies in their relationship to purity, not a moralistic purity, but an energetic one. They do not hide their fire behind layers of performance. Their authenticity is a furnace that consumes pretense. This purity of intent, of presence, of emotion, creates a magnetic field that is unmistakable. Others sense it instantly. Aries is not performing for approval, they are simply being. This absence of self-censorship makes them both confrontational and captivating. It invites others to shed their masks and rise into rawness. Aries does not seek to fix or coddle. They ignite, they awaken, they challenge others to rise to the truth of their own desire. Their gift to the world is the light of unapologetic selfhood, a reminder that wholeness requires fire, not just harmony. In mythology, Mars is the god of war, but not merely of destruction. He is the bringer of sacred combat, the guardian of valor, the force that protects life through action. Aries inherits this mantle not to dominate, but to defend what is essential. They are protectors of the soul's right to evolve. Their battles, when conscious, are never about ego. They are about honoring the sacred spark in themselves and others. Aries is at their most powerful when they fight for love, for justice, for purpose larger than their own ambition. This noble warfare keeps them vibrant, because it binds their will to the divine. When Aries aligns their fire with meaning, their energy becomes inexhaustible. They are no longer just a flame, they are a solar force. Aries also holds a rarely recognized sensitivity to time. They do not measure life in years or seasons, but in moments of decision. For Aries, time bends in the presence of will. A single choice, if made with full heart, can alter the course of their life in ways that defy logic. They understand, on an energetic level, that moments of bold action create portals. These are openings through which destiny reshapes itself, and Aries was born to sense and seize these thresholds. Their youthfulness is tied to this spiritual agility, the capacity to leap through time by saying yes to what others delay. In each leap, they transcend linear aging and participate in a dance with the eternal. Their fire is also erotic in the highest sense of the word, not confined to physicality, but expanded to the sacred drive to connect, to create, to touch life with full intensity. This eros is what gives Aries their sparkle, their power to awaken desire. Not just romantic, but the desire to live, to risk, to feel. Their presence evokes memory in others of a time when life was less tame and more truthful. They radiate a sensual wildness that doesn't seduce, it summons. This primal magnetism is part of their mystery, and it feeds their vitality. As long as Aries is turned on by existence itself, they cannot grow old. The body may change, but the charge remains electric, their aura humming with promise and provocation. Aries must also be understood through the lens of leadership beyond systems. Their leadership does not depend on titles, structures, or social approval. It is elemental. When crisis arises, when vision is needed, when hesitation paralyzes others, Aries rises. They take the first step not because they are certain, but because they are willing. Their leadership is born from sacrifice, a willingness to bear the weight of being first, to fall if necessary so that others might follow with greater ease. This devotion to motion, to opening doors that do not yet exist, makes them indispensable in times of transformation. They are not leaders who manage, they are leaders who liberate. As they evolve through life, Aries encounters the challenge of refinement. Their early flame is wild, consuming, sometimes directionless. But through trials, failures, and heartbreaks, Aries begins to learn the discipline of fire. They begin to wield their will with precision, to fuse instinct with insight. This alchemy does not tame them, it elevates them. The mature Aries does not lose their vitality, they become strategic with it. They learn when to strike and when to wait. They learn that true power is not in reacting, but in choosing. Their fire becomes a sacred instrument, guided by spirit, sharpened by wisdom. In this refinement lies their legacy. The legacy of Aries is not only found in their actions, but in the trails they leave behind. Each life they touch carries a spark of their ignition. They awaken revolutions not only in the world, but in the hearts of those who were once afraid to begin. They are the eternal heralds of awakening, the brave voices that whisper into the ears of the hesitant. Move, act, become. And long after Aries has moved on to the next summit, their fire lives on in the courage they inspired. In this way, they are immortal not through permanence, but through the echoes of their initiation. Where there is fire, there was Aries. Where there is boldness, their spirit lives. Where something new is being born, they are already there, smiling in the wind. Aries carries within them the rhythm of the cosmic heartbeat that first stirred the void into motion. Their life is not merely a journey. It is a declaration of presence, a drumbeat of becoming that shatters the silence of complacency wherever they go. This primal force is not a concept to Aries. It is a sensation, a knowing that surges through their veins with every pulse. Their body, mind, and soul exist in service to this rhythm. They are tuned to the frequency of emergence, of sudden transformation, of breakthroughs that come not through contemplation, but through combustion. Their sacred contract with the universe is one of ignition. They are not meant to wait. They are designed to set the fires others gather around. Within the zodiacal cycle, Aries occupies the sacred threshold where spirit meets matter for the first time. In this unique position, Aries becomes the embodiment of raw divinity entering the physical realm. Their passion is the friction of soul touching form for the first time, an ancient flame remembering its power through the body, through action, through will. This metaphysical placement grants Aries a kind of existential freshness that never fades. Every moment is their first. Every love, every challenge, every dream feels new because their soul was born to greet experience without the filter of past limitation. This elemental innocence is not a weakness, but a superpower. It allows them to approach life as if the miracle has never dulled, and in doing so, they restore that miracle in the eyes of others. The relationship between Aries and adversity is a sacred one. Where others seek to avoid difficulty, Aries seeks to transcend it. They are not naive to pain or immune to failure. They simply do not worship it. Obstacles are not curses in the Aries cosmology. They are sacred tests that awaken deeper layers of power. Every time Aries falls, they awaken more of their immortal core. There is a warrior's grace in how they rise, again and again, not hardened by defeat but sharpened by it. With each scar, their light burns brighter, because each wound has taught them something about the invincibility of their spirit. Their resilience is not learned, it is remembered. Deep within them is the mythic memory of every soul who rose before them, every warrior, every rebel, every spark that refused to die. They carry this lineage in their stride, and it whispers to them in the moments when surrender seems near. Keep going. Aries also serves as a guardian of initiation. In ancient rites, the initiator was not only the one who began a process but the one who endured the passage through fire, through blood, through breaking to emerge on the other side transformed. Aries is this force incarnate. They do not merely symbolize beginnings. They carry the medicine of initiation for the collective. When an Aries lives in alignment with their true essence, they become the threshold others must pass through to awaken. Their courage becomes contagious. Their motion becomes a mirror. In their willingness to face the unknown, they carve space for others to face it too. They are not meant to walk beside those who are ready. They are meant to walk first, and in doing so, create readiness where it did not yet exist. Their capacity for creation is often underestimated because it does not follow conventional forms. Aries creates not with blueprints, but with boldness. Their creativity is the fire starter, the spark that sets dormant potential ablaze. Where others dream of what might be, Aries charges forth to make it real. Their visions may not always be refined at first, but they are alive, and in the act of making, Aries is refined through the process. They learn by doing, by daring, by failing gloriously and rising with clearer eyes and stronger hands. Creation for Aries is not a delicate art. It is a holy collision of force and form. Their projects carry their essence. Fierce, urgent, and unforgettable. They are the cosmic answer to stagnation, the divine disruption that breathes new life into tired places. The fire of Aries is also ceremonial. Long before modern language, fire was used in sacred rituals as a purifier, a connector between the human and the divine. Aries holds this lineage in their energy. Their presence itself can be a ritual, an awakening of dormant strength, a burning away of self-deception, a reminder that transformation is not only possible but necessary. When Aries acts, the world around them shifts, not just physically but energetically. Their authenticity has a seismic effect, cracking open hearts and illusions with the same strike. In this way, they become walking ceremonies, unpredictable, fierce, and blessedly alive. Their life is a testament to the fact that awakening does not always arrive quietly. Sometimes it arrives as a flame. There is also a tender power within Aries that shines through their fierce exterior. Beneath their independence lies a profound devotion. Once their heart has chosen, Aries will guard, protect, and uplift with the same ferocity they bring to every other endeavor. Their loyalty is not given lightly, but when it is, it becomes unbreakable. This loyalty extends not just to people, but to ideals, to visions, to dreams they have claimed as sacred. They fight not only for themselves, but for what they believe deserves to exist. In this way, they become champions of the unseen, defenders of the future, guardians of what has not yet manifested. Their youthful glow is a reflection of this passion. For it is passion, above all else, that keeps the soul from aging. The path of Aries is not easy, but it is exalted. To be the one who begins, who risks, who leaps without a net, is to walk the edge of human possibility. It is to stand in defiance of fear and call forth life in its most untamed form. Aries does not age in the traditional sense because they are constantly reborn. Every choice, every act of courage, every fall and rise renews their spirit. They do not accumulate time, they accumulate experience, depth, and flame. Their journey is not a linear progression but a spiral ascent, with each revolution bringing greater mastery, greater fire, and greater purpose. To witness an Aries in their full truth is to be reminded of the soul's original power. They are the shout at the beginning of creation, the footstep that breaks the silence, the wild heart that refuses to wait. They are not only young, they are eternal. They are not only strong, they are sacred. And long after the world has changed around them, their flame endures, not because it was never challenged, but because it chose to burn brighter each time it was. Within the vast cosmic wheel, Aries is not only the flame that begins the zodiacal journey, but the very embodiment of divine impulse, the original motion through which existence asserts itself. While many see Aries as merely the first step, what often remains unspoken is that Aries is the force that compels the universe to take that step. In the sacred dance between stasis and evolution, Aries is the will that declares movement sacred. This is not a trait. It is a spiritual essence. Aries does not simply act. They enact the sacred rite of becoming, defying entropy and silence with the thunderous cry of emergence. In their fiery ascent, they give proof that the universe itself is not content to remain unmoved. The zodiac will spin eternally, but without Aries, it would never have begun. This is the astrological mystery that lies at the root of their magnetism and eternal youthfulness. They are not sustained by external forces but fueled from within by an immortal momentum. They do not rely on legacy or lineage to define them. They generate their own mythos with every breath. Their spark is not inherited. It is self-lit, born from the divine memory of the universe's first flame. Their path, though riddled with battle, is sanctified by initiation. Aries does not walk a road, they forge it. They are the cosmic blacksmiths who strike iron into destiny through motion, risk, and the holy fire of willpower. One of the most transcendent aspects of Aries is their relationship with the now. Where others drift into nostalgia or project themselves into hypothetical futures, Aries knows that the present is the only true altar of transformation. They are temporal warriors, always anchored in the fire of the moment. This intimate relationship with the present grants them not only speed but a type of eternal renewal. Their consciousness is constantly reborn because they do not anchor themselves in what has been, nor are they paralyzed by what might be. They understand in their bones that the soul's power is greatest when it is fully awake to now. In this awareness, they remain ever young, not in appearance alone, but in soul, in fire, in sacred urgency. Another facet rarely explored is their spiritual stamina. Aries is ruled by Mars, a planet often associated with war, drive, and confrontation. Yet at a deeper, esoteric level, Mars is the spiritual engine of the soul. It is not merely the energy to fight, but the spiritual will to live fully, to confront limitation, to engage with life on the battlefield of transformation. This relentless force within Aries does not tire in the way ordinary energy wanes. It is not enthusiasm. It is fervor. It is a soul-fueled commitment to experience life uncensored, unfiltered, unhesitating. This stamina sustains them through spiritual rebirths that would exhaust others. Their rest is not in retreat, it is in motion. Their meditation is movement. Their prayer is passion. Aries also carries the gift of sacred defiance. In a world that often rewards compliance, stillness, and careful self-editing, Aries walks as a holy disruption. Their refusal to fit molds is not rebellion for its own sake. It is the call of the soul to remain unshackled by fear. Aries is the guardian of the untamed spirit, the archetype that reminds humanity of its origin in divine wildness. They do not shrink to be accepted. They expand to be truthful. And in doing so, they awaken those around them from spiritual slumber. Their very existence declares, "You were not born to follow, you were born to blaze." Their relationship to love, too, is a dimension of their magnetism often overlooked. Aries loves as they live, with immediacy, with totality, with fire. They do not ration affection or wait to be assured of safety. Their love is a flame that consumes hesitation and dances in the realm of sacred vulnerability. There is power in the way they choose others. It is not calculated, it is fated. When Aries loves, it is a recognition, an intuitive knowing that bypasses logic and lands in the heart like lightning. This ferocity of love electrifies everything around them. It awakens passion in the lives they touch and ignites dormant dreams. Aries does not love quietly. They love as the gods create, with force, with courage, with unapologetic clarity. Aries also holds a karmic role in the collective evolution of humanity. Each soul born under this sign carries not only personal lessons but a generational torch. They arrive to shake the systems, to disturb the habitual, to ensure that no age or institution becomes fossilized in fear. Their mere presence is often disruptive to the old world because they are coded with the frequency of the next. They may be misunderstood, resisted, even cast out, but this only affirms their sacred function. They are not here to be understood. They are here to make the world feel again. In their wake, stagnant waters stir, and change becomes inevitable. In their fire, new forms are forged, and consciousness is pulled forward toward its next evolution. The epic quality of Aries' life lies not in grand external triumphs alone, but in their internal victories, the thousands of moments they chose courage over comfort, instinct over conformity, truth over strategy. Each of these moments becomes a verse in the epic poem of their soul. They are the mythic warrior not because they never doubt, but because they never yield to it. Their greatness is not in what they conquer, but in how they continually choose to rise, to risk, to roar in the face of everything that seeks to silence the self. Aries does not fear being burned, they fear not burning at all. And so, as the wheel of the cosmos turns, Aries remains the eternal flamekeeper. They are the flicker in every new beginning, the breath before the leap, the heartbeat before the strike. They are never done because creation is never done. As long as there are dreams unborn, truths unspoken, and thresholds uncrossed, Aries will rise. Not as an echo of the past, but as a flame of the future, daring, divine, and forever young.